Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with executives of two public companies. First up is ASP Isotopes, an isotope enrichment company utilizing technology developed in South Africa over the past 20 years to enrich isotopes of elements or molecules with low atomic masses. Many of these elements are unsuitable for enrichment using traditional methods such as centrifuges. The company's initial focus is on producing and commercializing highly enriched isotopes for the healthcare and technology industries. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Mobilicom, presenting a compelling investment opportunity as a first mover in the $34 billion drone market, offering a unique end-to-end value proposition. It has established itself as a key player with proprietary solutions that enhance drone performance, offer comprehensive cybersecurity, and ensure faster time to market. The company's product suite, serving as the brain inside drones, includes Skyhopper data links, ground control systems, mobile mesh networking, the ICE cybersecurity suite, and Control-It cloud management. These products work cohesively to control, guide, and protect drones from cyber attacks, offering significant competitive advantages in the rapidly growing small and mid-sized drone and robotics market. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to the first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book Small Stocks, Big Money. If you want to invest in the microcap space, buy companies, not stocks. If you buy stocks, the daily fluctuations and lack of liquidity will drive you crazy. This quote comes from Byron Roth of Roth Capital, and it is featured in Chapter 7 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with ASP Isotopes. Today we have with us once again Paul Mann, the CEO of ASP Isotopes, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ASPI. Paul, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. It's great to see you again.
Great to see you too. ASP Isotopes, operating in a highly specialized niche within the advanced materials sector. Would you please give us an overview of your company's mission and how your isotope enrichment technologies are set to disrupt several major industries?
Yeah, well, isotopes are used every day, and you touch them every day without really even noticing it. And the majority of isotopes in the world are supplied by Russia and China today. So there aren't really many Western producers. So our goal is to bring a new supply of isotopes to enable many industries in the future. Industries such as advanced semiconductors, nuclear medicine, and obviously nuclear power. That's going to really change the world and make the world a better place for us all to live in. And they all need these special isotopes, which our company is focused on producing.
Now, your technology, which is proprietary, allows the enrichment of a wide range of isotopes, and I think you'll agree this gives you a strong competitive edge, Paul. Now, could you also elaborate on how your technology differentiates ASP Isotopes from its competitors, and what are the barriers that exist for others trying to enter your space?
So we're working on two different technologies, both proprietary to enrich isotopes. The first is the aerodynamic separation process, and the second is quantum enrichment. Both differ from traditional centrifuges in that they require a lot less capital. They're much smaller in footprint, and you can produce light isotopes as well as heavy isotopes, things like silicon-28 in the form of silane, which you can never produce in a large centrifuge. Yeah, both our technologies came from South Africa. They're developed in the sort of 1970s and 80s. We've advanced them much since then, and we've reduced the amount of energy we require to make us really cost competitive. In terms of the barriers that exist, our technology is classified as dual-use technology. So we're regularly inspected by the International Atomic Energy Agency, and we're controlled by the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And that creates significant barriers to entry and hurdles for the spread and release of this technology.
Now, how big is the overall market for this technology, Paul?
Well, That's depends very much on which isotope we're talking about. So carbon-14, perhaps that's a $10 million market. We've signed a take-or-pay contract there with a customer for a minimum of $2.5 million a year. But clearly, the nuclear fuel market is billions of dollars, and we've signed 2 MOUs with customers that require in total over $37 billion of nuclear fuel between now and 2037. So very different. Some markets are small, some markets are large. Our technology allows us to compete in many different end markets, and clearly the opportunities depend so much upon the end market.
Let's talk about a favorite subject of yours, Paul, HALEU, in which your technology could play a very critical role, especially for next-generation nuclear reactors. Give us an update on the progress you've been making on this front, and how do you see ASP Isotopes' role evolving in the global energy market?
Yeah, so it's really exciting. The world requires a lot of new nuclear fuel in order to meet 2050 climate goals, particularly a new type of fuel called high-assay, low-enriched uranium. And right now, there is no Western producer for commercial metric ton quantities of HALEU. So we've signed 2 MOUs with large US-based SMR companies, and our goal is to start producing HALEU this decade, ideally by 2027. Now, in terms of our technology and our plants, we've been doing a lot of research on non-uranium isotopes, which would be applicable to uranium isotopes, as and when we get the relevant permits and permissions from governments to move into this field. But as I say, we require permits and permissions from governments to do this, and we're talking to three governments right now, and hopefully we'll get those required permits or permissions in the next sort of several months, and that'll allow us to start building a first HALEU plant.
Let's turn now to Quantum Leap Energy. You've mentioned plans to list Quantum Leap on a national exchange. Paul, provide us more details on that timeline and tell us, what are the potential benefits for ASP Isotopes shareholders?
So we've always said that nuclear fuel and nuclear medicine are very different businesses. We've always said we're going to spin out or have a separate entity for the nuclear fuels business. And our goal is to do that as soon as it's practical and sensible to do it. So I would expect us want to achieve a couple of milestones before we do that. I think we'd want to have the permission from at least one government to start building a HALEU plant before we do that. And it'd be nice for ASP Isotopes to be generating free cash flow at the time we spin that out as well. So we're hoping as soon as possible, but maybe it's in early 2025. We'll have to wait and see.
And now, finances and the balance sheet, Paul. You've taken several steps towards strengthening that balance sheet in recent months. What is the company's current cash position, and how will this money help to accelerate your path to profitability?
Yeah, so we've actually never had as much cash in our balance sheet and there's been a stronger cash position we are today. We raised about sort of just over $30 million in July via an equity raise, and we raised about $25 million during the first half of the year via convertible bond issuance into Quantum Leap Energy, and so we're in a very, very strong position right now. Our 3 plants in South Africa are pretty much constructed. There's not much capex left to spend on those, and so this new capital we've got will be used to build additional plants in places like Iceland and hopefully in Quantum Leap Energy for nuclear fuels. We've got a very tight ship here. We don't spend much money. I wouldn't say tight-fisted is the word. We're frugal. Every dollar we spend, sort of 30 cents is management's, and so we're very careful how we spend our money, and we'll remain laser focused on costs, forever. But yeah, we feel very happy about our cash position today and our ability now to really build more plants and turn this into a great profitable company in years to come.
Just further elaborating on those operating expenses, they were more tightly controlled in 2023, and that resulted in better than expected operating free cash flow for your company, Paul. And what are some of the measures? Give us some more details on the measures that you're implementing to maintain this financial discipline as you scale up operations.
It's actually really simple. We don't hire lots of people. We don't have lots of expensive buildings. We don't travel in private jets and that kind of stuff and have lots of drivers for us. When we get in the plane, we typically turn right rather than left. That's how we kind of control costs. We spent the first 2 years of this company with just two non-South African executives in the C-suite, myself and the chief operating officer. We basically did all the roles ourselves. the CEO role, the CFO role, the COO role, the head of business development and head of sales, and negotiating all these contracts by ourselves. So, one of the clear signals we've had from both shareholders and the board of directors is we have to hire or strengthen our C-suite, and that will lead to a slightly higher OPEX in 2025 versus 2024 and 2023. So maybe we spent about $5 million in OPEX last year. That goes up a little bit in 2024. We just hired a CFO, a chief financial officer. So again, that will help us file our timely reports to the SEC and improve the corporate governance that is already good, but can always be improved.
Paul, wrap it up with the essential value proposition. Why should an investor take an interest in ASP Isotopes right now?
Listen, we're a small company operating in a highly restrictive, large barriers to entry industry, where there's a strong demand for a new producer of these very special materials that will enable many of tomorrow's megatrends, things like advanced computing, nuclear energy, nuclear medicine, space exploration. None of that will happen without new materials and new isotopes, and we hope to be the leader in those fields.
It is truly a great story, Paul. We love working with you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for your interest.
Now, to get more information on ASP Isotopes, visit aspiinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RED-CHIP to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like ASP Isotopes. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel, and also go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Mobilicom. Hello, today we have with us Oren Elkayam, the CEO and founder of Mobilicom, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker MOB. Oren, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Oren, for those who might be unfamiliar with Mobilicom, could you start by providing a brief overview of the company and tell us what sets you apart in the highly competitive drones and robotics market?
Mobilicom design, develop, and sell the hardware, the software, and cybersecurity solution for drones or robotics manufacturers, and in particular to the small-size drones or robot market segment, which is growing significantly in these coming years. Mobilicom is unique because we are not another drone provider, but the provider of the critical technology solution that goes to each and every of those drones or robots. We are the elements that enable them to operate. We are the elements that enable them to communicate, or the elements that allow them to safeguard themselves against different threats that are out there. Mobilicom is unique because as an end-to-end sole provider, we are the sole company in the market that can give you the entire bundle of critical solutions that will elevate your drone, make the performance the best it could achieve, safeguard from all angles of security, and cater for pricing, which become more important to the industry as they are scaling. More than that, Mobilicom is the cybersecurity leader of the drones or robotics segments, covering the security of the drone platform, as well as eliminating the issues of electronic warfare and cybersecurity on the connectivity that we can see in the battlefield right now in Europe or the Middle East. So Mobilicom is very unique in the industry and the role it's playing right now.
Oren, Mobilicom has come out with its first half 2024 results. I know you have been excited to speak about this. Give us the news.
Yes, we have fulfilled what we promised to investors, and the strategy is working. The revenue for the first half of the year jumped by 230% in comparison to last year. The operational costs stay steady. It's exactly the same as last year, although the revenue are 3.3 times of last year. The operating burn rate is only $1.1 million for the half year, which is about $180,000 per month, which is very, very low in comparison to our original plan. We have maintained a very strong cash position with about $10 million cash in bank. And if you take into account the burn rate that we actually have, you can see that we have a long runway to execute the strategy, to get to more sales ramp up, and to achieve market share, and then lead this industry as we anticipate to do. The gross margin remained very high at 56%. And I would like to remind you that we have no debt, no loans. So it's a clean company. So great results with high revenue ramp up, mainly thanks to the fact that the tier one players that we are partnering with have in Israel and United States have ramping up on their sales, and that is automatically affecting Mobilicom. So the strategy is working.
Well, congratulations again, Oren. That is just fabulous news. And you mentioned tier one defense manufacturers. You know that you have that US-based tier one defense manufacturer and that you have recently secured a third consecutive follow-on order from it. Could you elaborate on what that ongoing relationship means for Mobilicom, and how does it reflect the broader acceptance of your technology?
So this US tier one provider is a giant company traded on the New York Stock Exchange, a critical provider to the US DoD and as well as the commercial market. They are working with Mobilicom for more than 2 years. And during the process, we've done all the critical steps and passed all the hurdles together of having a complete platform certified and ready for the market. In 2023, in the second half of the year, they started to produce more units in order to deliver the customer. And the first customer that bought all of that is the US DoD, that has great demand for such products. So we've seen quarter after quarter, another purchase order and another purchase order and another purchase orders, which led us to this situation. This is the initial production ramp up on their end that affect Mobilicom, obviously. And we anticipate that with the great wins that they had with programs of record in the United States and additional solutions they are targeting, we will see additional ramp up on their end, which will greatly affect Mobilicom's success going forward. So we are very excited from this success and the additional tier ones that we have that also are scaling as we speak.
You know, it's beyond question that the global market for your technologies is expanding rapidly, Oren. Now, what role do you see Mobilicom playing in this growth, and how are you positioned to capitalize on emerging opportunities, particularly, of course, in the United States and European defense markets?
So it's not a secret that the conflict in Ukraine, in Europe, has accelerated the spending across the entire NATO countries and European countries in the domain of defense, and in particular in the small-sized drones or robotics. We see the same effect from the conflict in the Middle East, and we understand that the tension of United States behind the scene of Taiwan and China is going to accelerate adoption of drones and small ones in particular across the board. All of that means that the demand for our solution will go skyrocketing. Small drones or robotics are the crucial factor for those conflicts, as we've seen. Mobilicom is the key provider of all the building blocks, technology solutions that are the core of those platforms. We also see that cybersecurity and electronic warfare became the critical issue within those conflicts, and you cannot use those drones without proper protection. Mobilicom with the I suite is the first with combat-proven solution in the market for that. And we see adoption rates rising for this SaaS model approach. And we anticipate that the newly released OS3 product solution, security, safety, and compliance of the platform on the AI machines in the heart of those platforms will also be accelerating future growth of the company. So all in all, we are very happy from Mobilicom position in the market, and we are going to take advantage of this ramp up that is going to sweep Mobilicom in this market for great success.
Now, looking ahead, Oren, what are the key milestones or developments that investors should be watching out for as indicators of Mobilicom's continued success and market leadership?
So we anticipate that additional tier one players across Israel, United States, and Europe will continue to ramp up their initial production and then later on scale even further as they are winning more and more programs. So we anticipate more purchase orders from those customers that will continue the momentum of Mobilicom's growth in this market. In addition, we see the need for cybersecurity and electronic warfare solutions. We understand that the development that we've done and the IP that we've created is right on the point, and we are going to utilize that to have additional growth going forward from our SaaS model solution. And we are investing even further to take additional market share and ramping up our solutions for safety, security, and operational software, which is on the platform, on the AI NVIDIA-based solution, which is the heart and soul of any future solution that is coming to this market. So all of those, the existing hardware solution that are scaling as customers are scaling, and we will see that, the cybersecurity and electronic warfare, which is needed, and the future coming offering from Mobilicom, which are already undergoing and implemented, are great vectors of success going forward.
Final question, Oren, the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in Mobilicom right now?
So we have a company that have very diversified IP, which is already proven. We have more than 15 products in market, in use, proven by customers. We are embedded across the board in tier one players in the United States, Europe, and Israel, which are the creators of the technology worldwide, and additional companies in tier two and tier three. We have ramped up in our sales, and we can see that from this results that we released, and we anticipate additional great ramp up going forward. All of that in addition to the fact that we have leading solution in the market across the board, software, hardware, and cybersecurity, which are going to be the greatest success of this market, embedded across the entire manufacturers in the world. So that, I think, a great position with the sole company, which is end-to-end provider and cybersecurity leader in this market.
Oren, thanks as always for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, to get more information on Mobilicom, visit mobilicominfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And also go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met ASP Isotopes, ASPI on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is an isotope enrichment company utilizing technology developed in South Africa over the past 20 years to enrich isotopes of elements or molecules with low atomic masses. Many of these elements are unsuitable for enrichment using traditional methods such as centrifuges. The company's initial focus is on producing and commercializing highly enriched isotopes for the healthcare and technology industries. Learn more at www.aspiinfo.com. Then you met Mobilicom, stock symbol MOB, on the NASDAQ. Mobilicom presents a compelling investment opportunity as a first mover in the $34 billion drone market, offering a unique end-to-end value proposition. It has established itself as a key player with proprietary solutions that enhance drone performance, offer comprehensive cybersecurity, and ensure faster time to market. The company's product suite, serving as the brain inside drones, includes Skyhopper data links, ground control systems, mobile mesh networking, the ICE cybersecurity suite, and Control It cloud management. These products work cohesively to control, guide, and protect drones from cyber attacks, offering significant competitive advantages in the rapidly growing small and mid-sized drone and robotics market. Learn more at www.mobilicominfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small-cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small-cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter where you can learn about a lot of small-cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies, so please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting emerging growth companies.